What's up everyone? It's your host Gus and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling something that trips up so many people when they first start learning React, setting up a project. You look at the official docs and they're talking about frameworks like Next.js, and look, those are amazing for big complex apps, but when you're just trying to figure out what a component is, all that extra stuff is just noise. It's like trying to learn how to drive in a space shuttle. It's way too much. That's why today we're going to use a tool called Vite. Think of Vite as the perfect no-nonsense starter kit. It gives us a super fast development setup that lets us focus purely on learning React. By the end of this video, you are going to have your very first React app up and running, and you'll actually understand what all the different files and folders are for. Ready? Let's get into it.
All right, before we type a single command, there's just one thing you need on your computer. It's called a Node.js. If you already have it, you're golden. If not, don't worry. Just take a look at my video called Master Node.js Installation. You can find the link in the description of this video. Think of Node.js as the engine that lets us run all these cool developer tools on our machine. When you install it, you also get a command called npm, the Node Package Manager. npm is basically a giant app store for code, and we're about to use it to grab Vite. Once you have Node.js installed, go ahead and open up your terminal. I already have Visual Studio Code open with the folder of react-1 opened on my left, on the sidebar on the left, and I have the terminal open. You can go ahead and open it by going to Terminal, New Terminal, and I'm already inside of that folder, right? Now for the magic, we're going to run one command. Just type npm create vite at latest. I'm going to use the dot here, but you can write whatever project name you want to give this. You can write my React project or my app, whatever you want to name it. I'm going to use a dot since I want all the files I'm going to install get installed in the folder I'm already in. I don't want to create another folder inside of this folder I've already opened. So what this is gonna do is we're telling npm to create a Vite, a new project using the latest version of Vite. And I'm gonna hit enter. So Vite is going to ask you a couple of questions. First, select a framework. Use your arrow keys to go down to React and hit enter. Then it'll ask for a variant. We'll stick with plain JavaScript for now and hit enter again. Go ahead and select JavaScript and hit enter again. And boom, we're done. How easy was that? It created a new folder for us with all the basics set up inside. So we're not quite done yet. Vite has created the blueprint, but it hasn't actually installed the ingredients yet. The most important one being React itself. So the terminal tells us what to do next, to run npm install, that command, and then followed by npm run dev. So once we're inside of this folder, in your case, if you wrote a name, you did not use a dot, you wrote a name for your project, you can just use cd, go into whatever folder you created for your project, whatever name you gave for your Vite project. In my case, I'm already inside that folder. I'm going to clear my terminal and I'm going to run the following command, npm install or npm I, it's the same thing, and hit enter. So this may take a bit for all the ingredients to get installed, all the packages. So what happens, I've opened up package.json, that file. So the command we just ran of npm I or npm install reads a file in our project called package.json, which is like a recipe card. And it goes down and downloads all the packages or ingredients. And you can see the packages inside of the dependencies object, inside of the dev dependencies object. It's the ingredients or packages that our project needs to run. This might take a minute, but it was pretty quick in my case. So once that is finished, you'll see a folder called node_modules being added with all these different packages and ingredients. So now our project's our project is officially ready to go. To see our brand new React app, we just need to start the Vite development server in that same terminal window. You run this command. It is npm run dev. I'm going to try to open this web page here in Visual Studio Code by using the simple browser extension http :// localhost 5173. And there we go. That is the Vite app together with React running in our browser. You can also open this in whatever browser you like to use, Google Chrome, for example. So there it is, your first React application live and running. How cool is that? The best part is this server has hot reloading. That means whenever you save a change in your code, this page will automatically update. It's amazing for development. It saves a lot of time. When you're done for the day, just go back to your terminal and press Control C. You may need to hit Control C on your keyboard twice. And what that does is it stops the server. So if we refresh the page, it's no longer going to work. Okay, so we have a working app, but what did Vite actually give us? Let's take a quick tour of all the files and folders that were installed. Don't get overwhelmed. Most of this stuff you won't touch very often. Here are the key players. There's a node modules folder. This folder is huge. It contains the actual code for all the packages or dependencies, you can also call them, that we just installed with npm install using the command of npm install. The golden rule is never touch this folder, and you never send it to anyone else. It's just too big. There's no point in sending this folder to anyone, like putting it in a zipped file. There's no reason to go ahead and do that, because just by using the package JSON file, which is another file that was installed, this file is very important. This is our project's recipe card. It lists all the packages our project depends on, like React and React DOM. There's the main dependencies, and then there's the development dependencies. If you send your project to a friend or to a coworker, to another developer, they just need this package.json file. Okay? They will run npm install like we did in the terminal, and it will automatically recreate the node modules folder for them. So that's the reason you don't need to send the node modules folder to anyone. Then there's the index.html file. This is the only HTML page in our entire project. It's just a shell with an empty div inside. I'm referring to this div tag element that contains an ID attribute of root. Okay. React will inject our whole application into this one page, particularly to this div tag element with this root ID. Then there's the source folder. This is where we live. The source folder is where all our application's code will go. Inside, you'll see a few files and one folder. But the main one to start with is app.jsx. This is our root component, the main building block of our app. Notice the .jsx file extension. That's a Vite thing. It just signals that this file contains a mix of JavaScript, as you can see here above, JavaScript together with HTML. Okay, which is called, this HTML is actually called JSX. It's the JSX part of this file. And we'll dive deep into JSX in the next video.
And that's a wrap. You've successfully created your first React project with Vite, you started a development server, and you know your way around the project structure. You're in the perfect spot to start building some amazing things. The key takeaway is that React is a library for building user interfaces, and Vite is just an awesome modern tool that helps us get a project up and running super fast. If this video helped you out, do me a solid and hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. If you have any questions at all, just drop them in the comments.